crying to yourself and literally begging to be in the best parts of people's lives a lot of time out of your body. And it's such a drastic change, you know. If you found yourself looking at someone else's progress who may be dealing with the same thing as you, or if you find yourself comparing and contrasting different traits about other people in comparison to yourself, this video is for you. That's not something that you should do, really. Like, within this journey, I just noticed, like, by looking at people, that this is something that I just see that they do, where it's like they get so caught up within the journey, and it's like, even while they're making all of this progress, sometimes they forget that they've made so much progress because they are looking at someone else's progress and looking at little things like, you know, comparing your age to that person. Like, maybe if you two went through a similar thing, this person might be younger than you and they seem to be further within that journey to you, and so you end up feeling discouraged about the progress that you've made on your own. Or they could be older than you only by a couple of years, you know, and they just seem like they're so much further within your journey, and somehow that's also causing some type of inadequate type of feelings and emotions to stir up within you. And you know, that's why it's important to, you know, take that time to yourself to recognize the progress that you've made, you know, to acknowledge the progress that you've made and acknowledge that to yourself. It's not something that you necessarily have to, you know, put out into the world like, oh my gosh, I used to be in this position and now look where I am. But if that's a way for you to help yourself, then you should do that. You know, if sharing that to the world is a way for you to help yourself acknowledge the progress that you've made within your own life, then do that, you know. But I'm just saying that, like, you don't have to do that if that's not something that you want to do, but still, like, to yourself, acknowledge that. Look at the way that you used to be. Think about the way that you used to act. Think about how you used to treat other people. Think about how you used to treat yourself. Think about how you just used to be overall, you know, and the quality of your life as well. Think about the quality of your life, the emotions that you used to feel within that. If you were in a very depressive or dark time, where maybe it was multiple days in a row that you stayed within your room, you stayed in the bed, and you knew you had a bunch of different things to do, and you just would never allow yourself to do that. You would never get out of the bed to go and do those things. And now you're the type of person where even when you're tired, you still make yourself get up and do it because you know that it's the best decision for yourself. And that is something worth acknowledging, and that's exactly what you should do. So you should have compassion with yourself. What you should understand is that you didn't used to be in the position that you are in. How many days in a row were you sitting crying to yourself and literally begging to be in the position that you are right now? You know, there was a point where you were nothing like this, like where were on a completely different level. You were so low, deep down, and depressed and just sad and filled with negative thoughts, and literally begging to be in a different position mentally and emotionally. Whatever that pain was that you were feeling at that time was so excruciating to the point where it had you begging to become the person that you are now. And it's very important to, like, remember that, because, you know, people can get lost, like, within this journey where even whenever they make it to a certain point, they forget the position that they used to be in, or, you know, the ways that they used to be, or the certain situations that they used to be in, and start comparing themselves to, like, other people that they might view as, like, on a higher level or further within their journey. And it's like, it's so important that you come to that understanding that you didn't used to always be there. Like, you used to beg to be in the position that you are in now. And so to talk to yourself about that, like, I'm so grateful for my progress. I am very happy to be who I am. I am very happy to have made it to this point emotionally and physically and mentally. I didn't used to be in this position, you know, and I'm very grateful for that. I know how I used to be, you know, within this, you know, and you saw how long that sort of thing took, you know. So that's not to say that this next section of progression is going to take that long, but just don't get caught up in the fact that certain things maybe aren't happening as fast. You see again that it's a process, that it takes time, and you should definitely try by like talking yourself through that and having those moments where anytime you feel, just remember to allow yourself to take that pause and to allow yourself to just be still. Like on this journey, it's very easy to get caught up in like, you know, self-improvement, self-elevation, you know, progress within your life. And obviously there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you should do, you know, that's what you should strive for. But at the same time, it is very important to take that time to yourself and allow yourself to just be still, and to just be in the present moment. Like I mentioned, you know, you are in a moment where maybe you are comparing yourself to other people, comparing your progress to another person, looking at how far they are within their journey, looking at maybe the age of these other people, and again comparing and contrasting with that type of situation, and allowing those negative feelings to come into your body and stir up all of these emotions and just basically getting you out of whack and making you unbalanced. And that's why it's just very important to take those deep breaths and again sometimes just allow yourself to be in the present moment. Like if you're experiencing that, maybe go somewhere where you know that it'd be easy for you to take your time to just be to yourself and just sit there and just sit there and be in the present moment, man, and allow yourself to just feel your environment. Feel how you're feeling, but feel your environment and be in that moment. Look around and observe, you know. Observing doesn't mean go crazy with analyzing every little single thing that you see within nature, but at the same time it's like you just look and notice it and allow your mind to calm down, you know, allow your mind to be in a state of stillness. That is very important, you know. And what you'll find is from doing that is like you'll start to think how, again, you used to be in this position, and like there's a whole process to everything, and so you shouldn't allow yourself to get so caught up within comparing and contrasting to other people. You shouldn't allow yourself to get discouraged about certain types of things, and you should really just remind yourself about the process and how everything works. You know, if you have any old journals with that type of information from your past, or if you have old videos, you know, you can look back on that and really sit there and just think about how you used to be and allow yourself to be grateful for where you are right now, considering it's such a drastic change, you know, from how you used to be till now, you know. And that's one way to have gratitude for your progress, you know, and to have compassion. There's like a bee right here. Notice how so many people are more drawn to you. There are certain people that just are wanting to be around you more now, and it just seems like you're very magnetic, and it's not a coincidence. Obviously that coincides with your progress as an individual. You know, you have elevated and you have that energy stored within your body, and so it is radiating out of your body, and you know, there's an effect of that. People see that and are drawn towards that, and you should be very grateful for that, because I'm pretty sure there was a time where nobody was paying you attention, where nobody was looking your direction, where maybe no one wanted to speak to you. Maybe you didn't even have any romantic interest at the time, because maybe you were in like such a desperate, needy state, and it could have been a very lonely time for you. And even like friends, for example, not even just romantic, friends might have not have wanted to spend time with you, you know, because of it being such a like burden, you know what I'm saying? And for some people's situations and stuff, for some people's situations, it could have been a burden for them. And so it just was a situation where nobody wanted to be around you. And now it's like so many different people are so drawn to you and are attracted to you. And that is another thing to be grateful for. Overall, this video is just a reminder for anybody who needed to hear this, because I know that that is a thing, because I see it all the time where people get caught up within the journey, and you get so caught up to the point where, again, you just start comparing yourself to other people, man. And like, you should never compare your journey to another person. That's not gonna do any good for you, you know, because regardless if you're looking at someone and you feel like you have valid points of this, and this, at the end of the day, the only way for things to change is for you to make choices. And you making the choice to compare yourself is not going to contribute towards the choices of your personal development and making decisions to actually, you know, better yourself as an individual. You know, all that's going to do is create negative thoughts and stuff, and negative thoughts. And obviously that's not something that you want, you know. Something to remember to yourself anytime that you start feeling like you are comparing your progress to another person, that you are, you know, doing some self-sabotaging or doing activities that you just know are not going to have a positive effect on you and your mental state. Just remember how overall that would make you feel after the fact. What am I going to get out of doing that? Like, that's what you should, before you start going down the rabbit hole of thinking like that, ask yourself, what is the result of you actually doing that? What are you going to be feeling after you're done with comparing yourself to somebody and looking at the progress and whatever is, you know, nitpicking about little tiny things or whatever else, you know? Because like, for some people that might not be a tiny thing, so just whatever it is, the each details, you know, specific details, whatever it is that you are comparing yourself to and allowing yourself to feel some way about, what is going to be the result of you doing that? It's going to be you falling down a rabbit hole of negativity. You know, you're not going to be feeling great. You're not going to be feeling the best, and it's important. Like, you want to feel your best. That's a very important thing, you know? And so that's probably something that you don't want to do. And that's what you should do. Like, anytime you catch yourself, even if it's hard, because like maybe you've been doing this for a while and you've started to fall into a cycle of doing it, and now it's kind of like addicting to do that because it's like you're on some type of routine where you do that now. The only thing I could say is to, well, if you're watching something like this, you're obviously making a good step towards figuring out what you can do to stop yourself from doing that. Everybody is still going through different things regardless of what stage they're at. Just because you don't see every little thing that somebody is dealing with within their life, just because they don't display every little thing within their life, you're seeing the best parts of people's lives a lot of time on social media. So please remember not to compare yourself. But if you resonate with anything I spoke about, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing so that this video reaches someone who may also need to hear this message. Thank you, and bye.